Happy beautiful day, amazing people. My name is Zap Club and I'm coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Based on the last Zoom I saw today, a lot of people have looked at their business differently, right? Because sometimes you hear something from a different perspective and it changes everything for you, right? And I always begin success starts with us, not with the people we bring in, but it starts with us, because if we can lead ourselves, we can then lead a team. You cannot expect a team to do something that you are not doing, right? So, how do you start the business? Now, we've all been told 10 XRP is the activation. Some people have obviously put 10 XRP in and are waiting for the price to rise. And how I know, a lot of people messaged me after last night's Zoom with amazing feedback on what I am about to explain to you. Now, as you know, the XRP, the Zap Club basically has something called the arbitrage bot. That's its price possession. That's what gets this business going, right? People are attracted to that. Now, why? Because that focuses on winning, right? It wins all the time, every time. And if it doesn't execute a win, there is no loss. It tries again until it can find a win. And that's a beautiful thing, right? So 10 XRP is just your activation, just to get your foot in, right? Just your foot in. Now you need the key to start the engine, right? To move your business to a whole new level. Remember, whatever I'm teaching you right now, you can duplicate with your team. And if you do this with your team, the amount you are going to see happening here, right, from listening to me, is going to happen for you a lot quicker, maybe even a few months or maybe even a few days, right? This can elevate your business because, like I said, whatever you learn, teach it to others. Make sure your entire team is on page. In fact, I want everyone that's listening to this to basically get your team together and understand it and work a game plan, because this is big. As you know, with the XRP news and stuff, whoever's following it, you see it everywhere right now because you're involved in it, right? That's how algorithms work, but that's also how your mind works. You will begin to see and attract everything XRP into your life. So 10 XRP is just to activate, nothing else. It's not going to make you a multi-millionaire. It's to get you activated. But also, it's also good that you now are in the XRP verse and you are on your way to knowing exactly more about XRP. So your next milestone is 100 XRP. Now you can get there by helping other people because you earn something called commissions. And commissions, you can basically transfer and buy a new bot all from inside the system. So as you refer, you earn, and you can basically buy new bots with what you earn. If it equates to at least 11 XRP, you can buy a new bot. So 100 XRP is your next goal, right? And that is about $145. If some people can afford to start at 100, great. That is good. You can. And in South African rands, that's about 2,500 rand, right? And you got to take into account for exchange fees and stuff. So not bad to start a solid business, right? Why? Because XRP is scaling and you want to scale with it. You don't want to be caught when XRP goes to $10, $50, $100 with just a little bit of 10 XRP. You want to maximize that, right? So 100 XRP is your first major milestone. The next one is for you to get to 500 XRP. Now, 500 XRP as a personal goal is good. In dollars, it's $700. In rands, it's about 11,700 rands. Now, like I said, you do not have to buy this, right? You can earn it. If you create a team structure that are basically building a team with $100, 100 XRPs one time, that's all you got to do one time. You now create a whole new level of mindset as to what is possible, because people often put in way more than that into projects that go nowhere, that just falls, rug pulled. I know people that have put 30 to 40,000 in projects that are gone in a matter of nights or maybe in a matter of months, just gone, and they lose a lot. Here at Zap Club, you have a proven system that's going to work. Why? Because every single purchase gives you 300% back, right? That's the power of the arbitrage, right? So basically, if you put in 500, right, and you earn 500, now you got 500 in holdings, right? Because you started with 10 to get your foot in, you worked your business, 100 is your milestone, the next milestone is 500. Now 500 in the arbitrage, right, in theory, it will give you basically as well 3 times that. So now you're sitting with over 1,500 XRPs, right? And you started with way less than that, right? So now you're sitting with almost 35,000 rands, right? 35,000 rands from starting with either 10 and you built to 100, you got to your first big milestone, then to 500, and 500 is going to grow. Now, if you're teaching your team this, you can earn that 500 in 30 days. 30 days you can earn that, right? With a proven system or even less. I know people that earn that in a week. I know people that earn that in a day. So, right, success loves speed, but you need direction. Now, a lot of people are going nowhere fast, right? You need direction on how to get to your goals, right? So when you make back that 1,500, I always tell people, pay yourself. It's your earning. Pay yourself whatever you want from that. If you say, you know what, I want to pay myself 500 XRPs from that earning, good, pay yourself 500, right? And the next 1,000 that's coming through the airdrops or through your commissions, put it back in your business, right? It just makes sense. Always invest more in your business because your business is your heartbeat. Without a heartbeat, are you alive? No, right? So don't exhaust everything you're earning. It's okay to live okay, right? But you know what? What you're putting in right now is going to help you live with no limits, right? So you put back that 1,500, right? Simple as that. Sorry, you put back that 500 you take for yourself, and 1,000 you put back in. So now the 1,000 that's in the arbitrage is going to do what? It's going to do the next best thing for you, right? That's basically going to now 300x. That's going to give you 3,000 XRPs back, right? So 3,000 XRPs back, that is huge. Now that is what? 69,000 Rand. Now you can decide, you know what? I'll pay myself 1,000 XRP. Pay yourself about 23,000, entirely up to you. Or maybe you want to still pay yourself 500 because you're going to put more back in. That is great, right? So let's say you pay yourself 1,000 and you put 2,000 back in, right? 2,000 you put back in that you already earned. Now that 2,000 will eventually become 6,000, right? 6,000 XRP, which is in the region of over, I think it's over 138,000 rands, 138,000 rands, right? You see the value of how powerful the airdrops can be if you look at it differently. So now that 2,000 becomes 6,000 XRP. Why? Because of 300x, right? 3 times of that, right? So 138,000. And you can decide at the end, you know what, the first 1,000, I'm going to pay myself, or whatever amount you're going to pay yourself from there, right? So basically, 1,000 XRP is about 23,000 Rand. You can pay yourself that, that's fine. Remember, if you are building a team and you are following the system and teaching it to others, you are creating something called cash flow. And you are maximizing the power of the arbitrage and what it can do. By building a team and everyone following the same thing, you're going to get the same results. This is the blueprint, right, for how you can become successful by just following the same system and getting to those big goals of reaching those amazing ranks of ruby, sapphire, diamond, and so on, right? So now, if you pay yourself 1,000, basically, you are going to put back 5,000. Because remember, you earned 6,000, you paid yourself 1,000, you put 5,000 back in. So basically, that 5,000 XRP is about 114,800 that you are basically putting in for your future self, right? Now that is huge because that becomes 15,000 XRPs through the arbitrage. 15,000 XRPs, right? How much is that? That's 15,000 XRPs. What is that? That's about 340 plus thousand rands. At $10 a piece, people, that's 150,000 US dollars plus. In rands, that's about 2.5 million rands. And the reason why I say to put back more than you earn, think of this, right? Think you have an apple tree, and an apple tree only bears about 30 apples in a season. Are you just going to stick with that if you need more? Well, you'll probably take one apple or take a handful of apples and take those seeds and plant new trees. New trees create more apples. So you got to be smart with what you're earning because as we know, XRP is going up. It's going up in value. And if you have 500 XRP, that's why I said the major milestone is 500 XRP. And then you know what to do next, right? Keep scaling it up and up and up as you go. Get to 1,000, get to 2,000, get to 5,000, get to 10,000 in personal holdings, whatever it is. Set the targets high for yourself because if you do that, you're going to get it. If you just sit with 10, you're going to be, you know what, I wouldn't say you won't be anywhere. You will be somewhere, but it won't be a place you want to be when you're seeing everyone else cashing in amazing XRP rewards based on the price. Because if that 500 XRP, if you have 500 XRP, and the price goes up just by 10%, you'll be sitting with close to 90,000 rands. And that's the power, right? Because that 10% increase in market value of 500 XRP will give you close to about 6,500 US. So I want you to think big, and you can rewatch this. And we will be discussing this on Zoom calls because a lot of people have now seen the value of having more. And in fact, a lot of people have messaged me and told me, Zap, I did not know. Well, you got to come on Zoom calls to understand the business from different points of view and how you can help you. If you help you, you can help someone else. And whatever you do, make sure you can teach it to others. To me, this is so teachable because it makes a lot of sense. When you see the numbers, you will see the results. And as always, I will see you on the beaches of the world.